Hi again, Bella.
Yes, we're back. And, okay, so then what's the next story that I should tell her?
The one where I smell him.
Oh, yeah. He smells
so
good.
good.
Wait, he smelled really good at the beginning, but of course, you know, we're all dancing and stuff, and he still had that, you know, I'm convinced it's, you know, like, Old Spice or something.
Oh, yeah.
Super sexy.
It's very sexy.
And so
Juan beats the man on the commercial.
Oh, yes. And so we're walking again, out, because we, you know, like, probably every half hour, 45 minutes, we all go out and get drinks, you know,
yeah, because we're, like, sweating like pigs.
And so we walk out, and Juan's with us again, and Meredith's, like, hanging on him, she goes, Juan, you smell so good!
You smell so good, Bella!
And he goes, what? How can I smell good? I probably smell like B.O. And we're like, just a little bit. You mostly smell. And then Meredith goes, you smell like sex on a stick.
Okay, I was going to say you smell sexy, but then it came out you smell like sex. And then I was like, sex on a stick. And I finished my sentence. And he did smell really good, Bella. He smelled like heaven. It was really great.
You smell like Helen? Is that what you said?
Heaven.
You sounded like
heaven.
Yes, it was funny. And then they played How Low Can You Go by Ludacris, which I kind of hate, and you know that.
They played it twice.
Oh, and the DJ was not allowed to play the Cha-Cha Slide, the Cupid Shuffle, the Chicken Dance.
What the heck is that?
The Hustle.
Why would he be allowed to play the cool ones?
He wasn't allowed to play any line dances. I was like,
dying.
He was a good DJ though.
It wasn't his fault though, and he was hot, but the student council were like,
you know what, Brian was hotter.
No, honestly.
No.
Okay, can I tell my story, Katie?
Yeah, let me finish the one about the How Low Can You Go though. Okay. So you know, Juan's off, like, he's behind me dancing with somebody else, like with other, like his guy friends, you know, and because they're all like, you know, like breaking it down, because that's how they are. They're awesome.
That's how they do it. That's right.
And so it's like right at the left. How low can you go? How low can you go? And so then Juan just like, and so of course, you know, like I'm sitting there going like, what? And and so Juan just walks
her
up,
booty.
like, yeah, just runs up behind me and starts doing that, like the here, hold this. I'll show her if I can. This thing, that how low can you go? And then we go all the way down. He puts his hand on the floor. We could have gone farther, but I mean, it was right at the very end of the night. It was the last song, so I was like dying. So we couldn't go farther. All right, Meredith, I'm gonna tell you her stories now. Tell her about the guy who randomly runs up and.
Well, okay. So first of all, I'll talk about the story that includes me and Katie. So you know, so give it like transitioning. Okay. Probably like makeup or something. Look, there's a bruise on my arm.
Maybe it's eyeshadow, because I think it comes off.
Okay. Well, there's this guy on the student council, and the student council is like the people that set up the dances, Bella. So there's this guy named Mark Roble, and he just randomly grinds with everyone because everybody knows him. So randomly, he comes up to Katie, that chick over there, and starts grinding on her like as fierce as he can. And Katie was just like, oh yeah, and started grinding with him like, yeah.
I kind of went like this. I kind of went, oh, okay, I don't know.
Yeah, like checked who he was because we were like, didn't know he was some creep. And then I think like maybe 30 minutes or longer later, he comes over and starts grinding on me, and I look back at him too, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, and I just start going for it, you know. He's like, woo woo, and then like that's what he does, and then he runs off and like grinds with the next person.
It's so funny.
He's pretty great. Okay, so now for my story. Okay, so I told you earlier in the first video about the really hot guy who came to my party named Brian. Okay, and just so you know, he's like so attractive. He's like uberly tall, and he has bright blue eyes.
He's ridiculously tall.
Yeah, very tall. Right, Katie?
Yes, very tall.
And so he was the best to dance with because he was just like having so much fun. Like, I love Juan, don't get me wrong, but I would never like Juan, but Brian I would totally like. So he's just like amazing at dancing.
I just go on the screen and go.
When you were talking, Katie, I was like, okay. So yeah, so he's like uberly tall, and it was so hard to grind on him because his like crotch was like at my stomach,
and her boobs are like right here on him, and like it's so cool. She's bouncing like this, and her boobs are like bouncing up and down, and he's just like, yeah. And I have like humongous
boobs. So it just like right at his
You
crotch.
work 'em, baby. You work 'em.
But it was really, really fun.
Funny. Oh my God.
And then when I was behind him, he would like lean over really far, so I'd have to like scoot under him like more because he's so tall, but he was still the funnest to dance with, and he's really, really sexy. And he was so great. I think you would have loved him because you're taller than me.
He wore a gold mask on his head the entire.
Oh my God!
He looked like he pushed it up, and he was just like. And okay,
yeah, I mean, how much more sexy can you get?
like Juan grinds really well, but he's more like slick kind of a guy.
That's
you know?
my description, by the way.
Yeah, so she said it last night, and I liked it, so I'm gonna use it, and I want to slick. But
he's more like smooth, sultry, and slick when he dances, and Brian was more just like crazy, like pump it up.
He's doing the same thing to me. He just randomly come over and dance on me, and I'm not that much taller than Meredith, like that much, And so then he's like, so it's awkward for me too, but it's so funny because he just works it so well.
I know. So attractive.
He'll like get down like closer to the ground.
Yeah, so you can grind on his legs better.
Yeah. And so then he turns makes me turn to the side more, and he's like hardcore grinding on my leg. It was epic, and I was like, yeah.
He is
It was so
amazing.
funny.
He was hardcore grinding with like a ton of people, but he always came back to me and Katie, and then he danced the last dance with me. He's awesome. He is so cool.
So happy.
So yeah, so what about Maggie?
Oh yeah, poor Brian.
Well, I'm gonna give the camera to Maggie because she's like left out.
Yeah, you
Hey, Mag.
can tell Bella something. I'm gonna touch the time.